Shush! It's time for The Shelf. Whangarei District Libraries Radio on Beagle Radio. Oh!
Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai whakaronga mai ki The Shelf. He punua pauho mai I ngā whare puka puka I Whangarei I Beagle Radio 88.1 FM. I pāhere koutou ki I ngā hōtaka me hotu ki ngā whare puka puka I YouTube.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Shelf, a podcast for Whangarei District Libraries on Beagle Radio 88.1 FM and streaming live online at beagleradio.co.nz. To catch up on episodes you might have missed, subscribe to the Whangarei District Libraries YouTube channel. And welcome, thank you for joining us today. I'm Karlie, I'm a Technical Services Librarian at Whangarei Libraries and I'm joined here by Andy.
Kia ora. Yes, my name's Andy. I'm an Outreach Services Librarian, and one of my projects is I'm also the DVD librarian.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. If anyone who knows me knows I love cinema, I love film, and that's why I'm excited to make a little announcement, if I may.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, the DVD collection is... let's just say it is growing. I have recently purchased some movies that I'm rather proud of, and, well, also it's a matter of luck that I found them. What's for sale, what's available is what I get.
Yeah. I
have found some movies that are actually on the American Film Institute's top 100 list of movies. The AFI has a list of the top 100 movies, and they update it every few years. But it's been a little while since it's been updated. Maybe it's time to have another look at the list. Anyway, I'm off subject. The movies that I have purchased from that list, they consider these some of the top 100 movies I found and purchased: Schindler's List, Unforgiven, Goodfellas, The Sixth Sense, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Shawshank Redemption.
Yay!
By the way, Shawshank Redemption is IMDb's #1 movie from their list, so that movie's very significant. Have you seen it?
I love the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but I used to watch it all the time. It's so good. I'll have to watch it again.
Oh, it's the movie that was on TV a lot, so whenever it was on, if I'm channel flipping, I would be hooked. I have to keep watching.
It's so good.
So that's enough of the AFI list. I found some other movies that are also very culturally significant. They are modern classics. I have purchased The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yay!
Once Were Warriors.
Oh, yep. Classic.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yay! Gene Wilder.
It's hard to say, is that a movie for kids or adults? Because there's a lot of adult humor.
Well, there's some dark humor in it. I would say both.
Yeah, why not both? Iron Giant.
Oh my goodness.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Mm-hmm. Whale Rider. Gremlins.
Yay.
Batman and Batman Returns. That's the Tim Burton movies. Yeah. Misery.
Ooh.
Now, there's a wonderful movie about a nice old lady.
A nice, wholesome movie.
Yeah. One of our librarians was very excited. I bought Braveheart.
Oh, I can guess who that might be who got excited.
Yeah. Good movie. Historians have made their comments about it, but it is a well-made movie. Full Metal Jacket. The first 30 minutes of that movie are legendary. And I also bought William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, which I believe is the movie that made Leonardo DiCaprio a star. I know he was up for an Oscar a couple of years before, but I think Romeo and Juliet is the one movie that made him the heartthrob. I remember he was on girls' lockers in middle school, sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that adaptation because it's like the old Shakespearean language meets the modern aesthetic and modern fashion and everything. So it's a cool juxtaposition.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Generation X. The movie's a bit out there. I also bought Beetlejuice. Don't say his name 3 times. The Truman Show. High Fidelity, Mad Max the Road Warrior, Die Hard,
Yay!
and The Dark Knight, which is number 3 on IMDb. And this next movie is so bad it's good, Con Air.
Yes, put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah. Nick Cage. So maybe you have already seen these movies, but not everyone has. If your mates haven't seen the above movies, tell them where they may find them at Whangarei District Libraries. Tell your mates. P.S. I do purchase new movies too. Have you ever seen Smile?
No, it's on my list. It looks epic and scary.
Well, I bought Smile 2.
Ooh.
And then I bought Heretic, The Last Duel, the newest version of Nosferatu, June, or Dune if you're American, and Paddington. I bought the 3-film collection. And have you also seen the latest seasons of True Detective, or Star Trek Strange New Worlds, or Yellowstone?
Ooh, that's popular.
I have all of them on my desk, and they will be available soon.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much, Andy. It's a good alternative if you don't want to subscribe to a million different streaming sites and there's one movie that's not on any of them. Try the library. Chances are we might have it.
Yes, definitely. And I think this is better than streaming because you can commit to a single movie instead of having, a billion options on the screen.
Yeah, and low-key, you get the special, special behind-the-scenes things, special features.
Yes, definitely. And yes, there's also subtitles for the hard of hearing. I think most movies have that now. And audio descriptions on some of them. Language options if English is not your first language. Or maybe you want to practice your Spanish.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, that's really cool. So thank you for buying that for the collection and for the library.
Of course.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we've had some new movies recommendations or new old movies, DVDs that we've got, I also went down a nostalgic rabbit hole this week. So I'm just going to do a little deep dive for you. So here we go. So it was sparked by the observation that 90s kids are now rediscovering and collecting the I Spy books as adults. I've seen a lot of Instagrams and TikToks about this and this kind of aesthetic that we're kind of missing and remembering. So do you guys remember these? They've never really declined in popularity. For example, all of our copies that we have of I Spy books are currently checked out, so I couldn't even look at them to do this kind of research for it. It's just that popular. So the I Spy books are those search and find children's books, the text of which is written by Jean Marzollo, and the photographic illustrations are by Walter Wick. The idea was that the riddle on the bottom of the page referenced what objects you were looking for in the image. So the I Spy series was first published in 1992 by Scholastic Press. Marzollo and Wick were creative partners in this venture. Marzollo's riddles were written in dactylic tetrameter, the rhythm and rhyme appealing to young kids. 3 decades and 100 books later, but it's like 18 or so original books. The series is still captivating children and low-key adults too, with its whimsy, cleverness, and vibrancy. Unfortunately, Jean passed away in 2018, but the series is still ongoing with the latest I Spy book, I Spy Love, released in 2024, and this was actually a collaboration between photographer Wick, the same photographer, and in a beautiful turn of events, the new authors were Dan and Dave Marzollo, who are Jean's sons. This included the first new picture spread by Wick in 25 years, because many I Spy books are repackaged as new volumes. So this was the first time he had added a new picture into the mix since then. And on that note, what I think I Spy books do really well is connecting imagery with a theme, whether it be Christmas, treasure, school, letters, alphabet, or fantasy, things like that. These books also build children's vocabulary, teaches them to be observant, to look closely, and to identify patterns. The further I explored this topic, the more I became aware of the sheer amount of talent that Walter Wick has in his art. Each of the spreads in the book is so detailed, so specifically set up and shot, and the scenes handcrafted or painted, the many objects strung up, hanging, leaning, arranged delicately to create this kind of 3D effect. That's the trademark style of this book series. Apparently each scene involves 100 or somewhere between 100 and 300 individual pieces at a time. All this with attention to scale and angles and continuity. So if you get a chance, I recommend watching. There's this YouTube video by Insider Art called How I Spy Books Are Made, because it has a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at Wick's process. He originally shot an 8x10 film, which makes the process slow and even more complex. So remember, this began in pre-Photoshop days, so he's all doing this by hand and with an immense amount of talent.
Wow.
In an interview with Scholastic recently, he said, "You can almost think of each of my scenes as a window display without the window," which I think is a really good description of it, actually. There are tabletop scenes in the same way, like displaying these objects. And what I appreciated when researching this was that he holds himself to standards to protect like the integrity of the game. His words, by making sure that the riddle is asking something like 3 hearts, that he'll make sure that there's not 5 hearts in the picture or any kind of mistake, because kids will pick up on it.
Definitely.
So knowing I wanted to chat about this on the show, I took the chance when I saw on walterwick.com, his really cool website, which had a contact me option. I figured I might as well ask him a couple of questions on the off chance that he replies, from all the way over in America, mind you. I asked him, A, how he feels about the latest spike in I Spy popularity as 90s kids are now rediscovering his work or showing their kids the books that they loved so much as children, and B, how he feels about public libraries specifically being a place where children have been borrowing and receiving joy from his books since the 90s. And I was lucky enough to get a response from him. By the time I received his message, I was already kind of fully blown fan of his artistry, so I kind of geeked out. So here's what he wrote, and Andy's going to read it out.
Hi, Karlie. I always love to hear from librarians, the noblest of professions. So your second question first. Libraries are vitally important, not just as repositories of printed material and other forms of information, but for the many ways librarians help visitors access those materials. Especially vital is the way they interact with those who've had difficulty stepping across that threshold in the first place. Early readers, reluctant readers, those seeking answers to uncomfortable questions, to name a few. Librarians can spot them from a mile away, put them at ease, point them in the right direction, and give them the space they need to grow and flourish. I love that. Yeah. Carrying on. As to the latest nostalgic kick, I couldn't be more delighted. When I made those books in the 90s, I had the audacity to strive for a standard in activity books usually reserved for classic picture books. I wanted them to stand the test of time. So far, so good. But here's a curious point about 90s nostalgia. When the I Spy books first came out in the early 90s, the parents of my readers saw the imagery as nostalgic. That's because I deliberately avoided 90s trends in movies and toys, favoring toys in my childhood instead. So there's a certain irony in them being seen as 90s nostalgia. Perhaps the ultimate test of time is once that rush of nostalgia subsides, there is still something of value to appreciate. Given that I'm now getting that appreciation from a librarian, suggests I'm on the right track. Thank you for doing what you do. All the best, Walter.
Oh, end of email. Thank you, Walter. You totally made my day, and we really appreciate specifically that first sentence about us being the noblest of professions.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I love that. It's interesting that you say there's a trend of, I guess, millennials showing these I Spy books to their own kids. Really, it was only 2 weeks ago where I was going through some Where's Wally books with my niece and nephew, because for me, that's nostalgic.
Yeah.
I used to look through those books all the time, just flipping through them, saying, oh, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, there's something cool about these search and find books because they can be a group activity and something you do with your kids or with your cousins or
Yes.
with your friends when you're kids. So yeah, there's something really special about those books, and maybe that's part of the reason why they're so popular.
Yeah.
I was just speaking to Mrs. Kite, our children's librarian, about them because I was like, we're missing a few of the I Spy books. Can we buy them again? And she's got what she can, but
Yeah.
that section of the oversized books, the search and find section in the library, in the children's room, is just constantly, it looks like there's not much there, but it's only because they're constantly going out. They're constantly being borrowed. It's the biggest collection in that section. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, there's loads of really interactive children's books that you can do with the kids or with your siblings, or maybe you're just an adult who finds it fun and nostalgic, like we've been talking about. So check them out.
Check them out. And to Walter Wick, on behalf of the 90s kids like me and the generations after us who are and will be enjoying this classic picture puzzle series, I wanted to say thank you for illustrating our childhoods. These photos have, in my opinion, stood the test of time, as you're referring to in your email. I have a theory that there's some imagery from our childhood that really sticks with you or means something extra special to you when you see it again later in life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a sense memory. And this is definitely one of those things for me, which is really cool. And to the audience, we'd love to hear from you if you enjoy these books or if you have any other search and find books that you would recommend to us or to others. Leave a comment or mention it to one of us at the library. It's always really cool hearing from you.
Yeah. I'm amazed he wrote back. Yeah.
I know, and that was really cool. It was only a day or so after I emailed him.
Yeah, and I think this proves that books can be a group activity too. Oftentimes, a novel is very personal. I'm reading one right now, and it's not like watching a movie with 3 people.
Yeah.
Only I know what's going on in the book. But with I Spy, for example, you can have 3-4 people crouched over it, just trying to find the items on the page.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I guess unless you join a book club and can talk about it after the fact, it can be kind of like a solo experience reading a book. But maybe not so much for kids. So that was really cool. Definitely a highlight of my week.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to read it again. I always love to hear from librarians, the noblest of professions.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I thought of that exact word. Well, shall we move to the next little segment here? We are happy to introduce you to a new experimental segment called Cooking the Books.
Ding!
That's a microwave.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, good. Not that I would microwave something for dinner. So I would like to talk about a cookbook that I found in the collection that I just really love. And I've made several recipes from it.
Cool.
And that is notable because I've found many cookbooks, and I find that this one is just, for me, the one that works the best. And it is making food that I really adore. And the title of the book is Quick and Easy, Delicious 30-Minute Dinners by Nikki Corbishley.
Oh my gosh, straight off the bat, I can see the stir fry on the picture on the front cover. I need to eat that.
Oh, yeah. There's so much stuff in here. I wanted to... I'll just give a summary of some of the things that are in this book as I flip through. Cheddar and vegetable chowder. So it's basically a chowder, but it's in a big piece of bread. Ooh. Lemon feta baked basa. So it's a fish dish. A fish burger with mustard pickle mayo. I'll move forward. Where's something I made? I think that would be more interesting. Oh, honey lemon chicken. I made that a couple of weeks ago. Now, to the highlights. quick chili con carne. Yeah, just check out this picture. Does that look like something you would eat?
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's a picture of a bowl of chili with some rice, chopped avocado, and a scoop of sour cream.
Yum.
So in America, chili is that one food that you can find at most places. Almost every diner, the classic American diner, they probably have chili on the menu. And in New Zealand, at your pubs, you often have seafood chowder. Well, for us, it's often chili, which I think originates from Mexico, but I have nothing to back that up with. So that's why I said I think. And what it is, it's just a bowl of some spices with mince, with ground beef. You can add usually as onions, capsicum, or red peppers if you're American like myself, and beans is essential. So I'll summarize the recipe. So what you do is you put your oil in a frying pan or skillet. I use a big pot on medium-high heat. You add the chopped onions and beef. It's about a quarter of a kilo. You can hold the salt. I don't add salt. And you cook it for about 5 minutes. And then you add your spices. Garlic, ginger, cumin, beef stock, paprika, ground coriander, and chili powder. It can be a fiery dish. So, if you want to add less chili powder, that's fine. Add the chili powder, please. Branch out. And, tomato puree. And then you add your tomatoes and mixed beans. So I use black beans and kidney beans. Then this is kind of funny. You actually add a little bit of ketchup, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, and coriander. And what you get at the end of it is maybe at least for my family, we will have leftovers for the next day. It's 2 meals for all of us. And if the picture is correct, you can serve it with sour cream. I ate it with rice once, which is okay. In the U.S., we often just ate it with maybe you dip corn chips in it or some shredded cheese, which I don't see in the picture, but that's how we did it. Anyway, chili is a staple dish, and I'm glad to have added it to my cooking repertoire. Yes, it is an art form.
Oh gosh, that looked so good. You guys are lucky you couldn't actually see the photo then, because you'd be hungry until dinner time if you had. So you're lucky.
I'm flipping through the book now, but minced fajita bowls, another Mexican fusion dish, and I made this crispy baked Parmesan chicken strips. So
gosh, that looks good.
Yeah, you make it in the oven instead of frying it. Spicy turkey lettuce wraps. Now that I got to try. And these dishes are simple. I think that's the appeal to this book. It's called Quick and Easy, and it's by Nikki Corbishley. The book is green.
Yeah, it's bright green.
If you're scanning the shelves, I recommend that one.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. How about you, Karlie?
Well, I do a lot of cooking, but I'm kind of more known for my baking. So I have a couple that I would recommend from the library that I've got out a few times, and I've basically done, it's like your average cookie and cakes and crumble and desserts in both of these books. So the first one is called Bake Joy, Easy and Imaginative Bakes to Bring You Happiness by Kim Joy. And this I really like because it's creative bakes. It's like, when you see it, you'll understand, but it's like making characters through cookie characters and things by adding googly eyes and adding color to these cookies and things like that. So I thought it was really cute, and how cool will it be to like give someone cookies or cake that look kind of this creative and colourful and fun.
Yeah.
So there's that one, and then I always recommend the Jane Patisserie books by Jane Dunn. So that she's got like everyday bakes or celebrate bakes full of like birthday cakes and things like that. So they're really yum. I've made cinnamon rolls from that specifically, which was delish, but it was a commitment, an all-day commitment, waiting for the dough to rise and all that jazz. So those are the two I would recommend. But then I went on a sort of another rabbit hole about Edmund's cookbook, and guaranteed everyone listening will either know of or have in their possession at home an Edmund's recipe book.
I do.
Yep. It's a New Zealand staple. It's kind of become a Kiwiana icon. But I've got some fun facts about this cookbook because I was like, that's funny, everyone has it, but I don't really know the history behind it. So basically, it was first published in 1908 as a marketing kind of promo giveaway by the Edmunds Baking Company. So the first ones weren't paid for, they were kind of just like freebies that people won. And then it was adapted over the last century and a bit. And way back in the early days, housewives could write to the company to request a free copy.
Okay.
Which is crazy. And also in the 1940s, couples announcing their engagement in the paper would receive it for free.
Oh.
So that's sort of how it was distributed for the first couple of decades, or few decades actually. And since 1955, it became a paid product. So when we started buying them in the shops, that's about when. So there's been a bunch of editions. The 1976 was when it started being produced with a spiral binding so it could lay flat, which all cooks will appreciate in the kitchen. And the Edmunds factory on the cover of the book was located in Christchurch and sadly demolished in 1990. Only 2 copies of that first 1908 edition are known to have survived over time. And yeah, that's a little bit about the history of the Edmunds cookbook. So a few fun facts for you there, or interesting facts. Do we have it at the library?
Yes, we have Edmund's Sure to Rise cookery book, and yeah, it will be labeled with a Kiwi sticker because it is New Zealand nonfiction.
Cool. And the cookbooks in the library are around the 641 section, upstairs in the nonfiction, or at the branches 641.5 or so.
Yeah, it's a very if you go to 641.5 and onward, it's a very browsable section. You can get ethnic food. I was looking through one about Persian food. I think everyone should know some Italian dishes. That was always my favorite growing up. Well, take your pick. There's plenty of them.
Yeah, and funnily enough, just like the I Spy books, cooking is something that's shared, something that's communal, something is a group activity. That's an unintentional theme we're having today.
Yeah, and I'd say the cookbooks probably these are the books that they remain relevant. A recipe isn't going to change too much.
No, yeah, you're right. Cool. So that was a pretty cool segment.
Yeah, cooking the books and not embezzlement, but talking about cookbooks.
Love it. We'll bring it back, hopefully. All right. Should we throw it to a song?
Definitely.
Okay. Should we do my one first?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. So it's New Zealand Music Month, which we'll talk about very soon. And in honour of that, I'm going to play you Mark Williams. Yesterday was just the beginning of my life. I know a lot of you would know this one. So this was the #1 on New Zealand music charts in June 1975, and it stayed there for 3 weeks. So we'll hit it.
Let's get to it. And welcome back. You are listening to Beagle Radio 88.1 FM Whangarei and online at beagleradio.co.nz. If you want to get in contact with the station manager, please email info@beagleradio.co.nz. And that last piece was Yesterday Was Just the Beginning of My Life by Mark Williams. Karlie, where do you think Mark Williams is from?
As of the last music break, I'm thinking he's from Northland.
Well, I'm looking at Wikipedia. It says he's from Dargaville.
Yay, local.
Kaipara.
supporting local music is what we like to do on this show
Yeah.
when we can.
Yeah, and looks like he's still making music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another fun fact: I have never heard that song.
And now you have. And
Yeah.
your life has changed for the better because of it.
Yeah,
Such a happy song.
It is. I'm not from here, so New Zealand Music Month is exciting for me because there's so much I still don't know.
Yeah, I think we have some real cool music from back in the day, and now we're still making such cool stuff. So, yeah, it's cool to listen to and support and stream local musicians, especially in New Zealand Music Month, which is happening now.
That's right. Speaking of DVDs and New Zealand music, I saw a very interesting movie called The Paw Boys. Now, it's a fiction film, but it's got a lot of just lovely music in it, great acting. It's a wonderful story, too. It's about a group of young fellas who are on the road making music. It's got a cameo from Troy Kingi, too.
Cool. Is this the Stan Walker one? Yeah. Is he?
No. This is.
Oh, I swear he was
I
on
might
back in the
have
day.
to look it up to get a better summary.
Cool. And do we have this at the library?
We do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the director is Himiona Grace, and so it's a contemporary story with a strong message. Paw Boys follows a Wellington reggae band as they embark on a tour down north from Wellington to Cape Reinga.
Oh, very cool.
It's a lovely film.
Nice. It's a good rec.
But for documentaries, we've got a fascinating documentary about the Chills. If you like the New Zealand sound, I also had never heard of the Chills.
Yeah.
What a strange story that band has.
Oh, really? Did you remember a bit of this story?
Well, no. I think I was ironing when I watched it, but they started when Flying Nun Records was rather new.
Yeah.
And the band went through many lineup changes, and it mostly followed the lead singer of the band.
Oh, very cool. I might have to check that one out.
And what's your favorite New Zealand band or musician?
Gosh.
It can be anyone.
I mean, technically, it's probably Marlon Williams, who is well known to the DJs on the hosts of The Shelf. I've seen him live about 4 times. Fellow Shelfie LJ, shout out to LJ, is going to his show in Auckland in a month or so, and that one's going to be really cool. He's just made a Te Reo album.
Oh, cool.
I also like, who else do I like? I like kind of the 80s artists.
Sure.
Like, I would say like When the Cat's Away, Sharon O'Neill, who else? Dragon, Herbs, Hello Sailor, things like that. They're kind of classics of the New Zealand music scene. But I'm also obviously a fan of Lorde.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's really talented.
She's amazing.
Still
Looking forward
making
to
music, yeah.
her new album coming out soon.
I think the first New Zealand band I ever heard was maybe 660.
Yeah.
But I've really I've loved Troy Kingi.
Troy Kingi, yes.
Heard all of his albums, even saw him live once. But I also have seen several performances by the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, cool.
They are top shelf musicians, all
Yeah.
of them. And I guess I can talk about this for Music Month, but Tutu's on tour. It's a dance group, ballet. It's a delight.
Oh, wow.
These dancers are incredible.
Yeah.
And every time I see them dance, I think, nope, I can't do that.
Me either. Yeah, we've got so much talent in New Zealand.
Yes.
And so much local talent in Whangarei. So I would always recommend checking out the 116 website or even Forum North to see who's playing coming up soon. So yeah, there's just so much to get behind here.
In fact, I want to name drop one more, but I came to this place, 116, and I saw a New Zealand band perform. They were called Neon Serpent.
Oh, cool.
I think they're from Auckland. Their music was, they seem to be a callback to 80s rock, like Van Halen.
Yeah.
And They were a lot of fun to watch. Very talented musicians. Their drummer does this thing with his drumsticks. He twirls them as he's playing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that sounds
they
cool.
put on a great show.
I'm going to have to look them up. I guess we should also mention mermaid bait. We're big fans of mermaid bait.
We are.
The library.
What well-known musician is in Mermaid Bait?
I think his name starts with a G. Glenford, Gary.
Glenn Davidson.
That's
I
it.
believe,
That's the
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Oh, he's on the shelf.
Oh, that's why. That's why I recognize the name. Yep, that'll be it.
Yep, you get to hear him every once a month or so.
Yeah. So Mermaid Bait does performances every once in a while. So if you ever see that popping up in an event or at a gig, definitely recommend going to see them. They're very lively and fun. Cool.
Well, let's do our school holiday wrap up. I was away for a few days. How did that go?
It went so well. It was such a cool atmosphere at the library. So we had 2 different school holiday programs going both weeks. So we had the Teen Breakfast Club, it's called, and that's our teen services librarian Milani was running that. And the theme was landscape. So they made a bunch of different things. I saw them make book nooks with lights that they could flick on inside, which looked so cool. I saw them making little garden hobbit holes with real like micro veggies growing out of them. So that was a massive hit. The kids really enjoyed it. The tweens and teens, quite well attended. And then also we had the children's holiday program run by Mrs. Kite, our children's librarian. And that was also really cool. So her theme that she chose was on artists. So there was like Monet and all the classic artists, and the kids would be making sort of child-friendly art based on this, based on these famous artists that we all know and love and recognise. And that was very well attended. I think we had a few days that was like over 130 odd kids coming in
Wow.
and their parents. So that was awesome. So they had a story and one song and then a craft, and they really loved it. So I think all in all it was a big success. Again.
Great.
Yet again.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, sad I missed it. I something just occurred to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to name drop one thing.
Yep.
Speaking of the kids and speaking of New Zealand music, next to Central Library in Whangarei, there inside of the old library, there is Whangarei Youth Music. So, the young ones are also learning how to perform music too.
Yeah.
Just going back to that topic.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes we can hear them, and sometimes every once in a while we'll see a performance by them. But yeah, they're amazing. Nurturing young talent in the future lords and Troy Kingies and Marlon Williams of the New Zealand.
Oh, definitely. Or future performers on the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're young, you're playing an instrument, keep at it. You'll wish you did.
Yeah.
So the past few weeks have been a little rough with weather. We've got a bright, sunny day out today, but the roads have taken a beating. I commute to work every day, and the roads have been badly damaged by tropical storms. And I think the best way for all of us to handle this is to slow down. Please, please slow down when you are driving. The kind of weather that we get in this country is not the kind to drive recklessly in. I have noticed that there have been some impatient drivers. Some of them happen to be driving larger non-commercial vehicles. So please just remember to share the road with smaller vehicles. I think the drivers of massive Ford Rangers and tiny Suzuki Swifts have equal rights to the road. So let's all...
Definitely. That's a worthwhile PSA. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, so let's all get out of our vehicles and just dance around.
Yeah.
Instead of driving recklessly.
Yeah, it's always a good reminder. We say that because we care about you, and it's just not worth it. Not worth the 5 minutes you'll get by speeding along to arrive at somewhere. It's not really worth it to risk it or someone else, yourself or someone else. Just be mindful, be careful.
And speeding tickets are expensive. Remember that.
Yeah. Okay. That's very good reminder. Thank you. I think now we'll just list a few events that is happening at the library coming up, because we have a decent amount of really cool stuff happening soon. I'm going to start with the teddy bear sleepover, which is the most wholesome thing you'll see this week. So teddy bear sleepover, if you haven't heard, and if you have a kid that might be interested in this, here we go. So on this Friday, 9th of May, is when we're going to hold this teddy bear sleepover. So kids can bring their teddy, their dolly, or their favourite stuffed animal for them to stay the night at the library. And then when they come back the next morning to pick up their teddies or their dollies, they'll see what those toys have got up to overnight at the library. So that's going to be really cool. There's going to be a story, a video story that they can pick up the next day and see, and they'll spot their teddy in the story. And the kids really love this. So on Friday, 3:30 to 5 p.m, you drop off your teddy, and there's an opportunity to either bring a bed made out of like a cardboard box or a shoe box or something, or you can pick one of those boxes up and decorate it at the library on Friday. And there might be a prize for best decorated bed. And so when you drop them off, that's that, and then you pick them up at 10 a.m. till 11 a.m-ish on Saturday. And you get a certificate. You'll get your toy back, obviously, and a QR code where you can watch the toys' stories about their mischievous night at the library. So this is obviously free this week, and in the main room at Whangarei Central Libraries, where it's all going to be happening. So there is that for families that might be interested, and there is a lot of interest in this. So, yep, that's one thing.
And on Sunday, the 11th, just in a few days now, there will be a group meeting at Whangarei Central Library to make comics. Well, I have so much respect for comic book illustrators. I like graphic novels. I think it takes tremendous talent to tell a story with image and words at the same time. So if you are curious about making comics yourself, you should come to Make Comics New Zealand, Whangarei, on the 11th. About 2 weeks ago, we aired an interview with a local illustrator named Aki Fukuoka, who does the illustrations for children's books. Well, we'll just say, if you really want to be an illustrator, you got to practice. Why not start at the library?
Yeah, good point. And the following Monday, on the 12th of May, there is this dementia-friendly book club that has been running for a little while now and seems to be going very well. So this is for people with memory loss or dementia, to allow them to continue reading books and enjoying books and having this kind of friendly and fun environment for them. It promotes and enhances their language skills, and reading together is always a good way of connecting with their memories and with each other in the group. It fosters community and reduces isolation. So if this is something someone in your family might benefit from, this is a fortnightly reading group that happens on the second and fourth Monday of each month, and it's in association with Alzheimer's Northland. Also free. Registration is required, and there's a email on our website if you're interested in that to register. Cool.
That's interesting. At the conference in Christchurch, we spoke about dementia book clubs. And there's academic studies that back it up. It is very useful.
Definitely. One thing that I really want to check out that I haven't had the chance to is these ukulele workshops in the library with the Purple Lady and friends. That seems to be have kicked off recently really well, and it's bringing a lot of joy to people. So you can learn to play the ukulele with the Purple Lady and friends. These are fortnightly workshops over 12 weeks. So all the dates are on our website, but the next one is 15th of May. You don't need to register. You can bring your ukulele and join in. Free entry, everyone welcome. We do have a couple of ukuleles in the Kakano collection, but they are quite popular.
Yeah. And we have method books on learning ukulele, too.
Yeah. So that seems really cool. I've heard them from a distance and really wanted to check it out.
Yeah. There will also be, on the 18th of May, the Jigsaw Puzzle Exchange. So if you want to refresh your jigsaw puzzle collection, you can exchange your old ones for ones that are new to you. So the puzzles that you exchange must be complete with no missing pieces and be in the original vendor's box and be in overall good condition. That will be on the 18th of May at 10 a.m.
Oh, that's really cool. I have noticed that Amanda, our jigsaw librarian, unrelated to this event, has bought a whole lot of cool new jigsaws for the library.
Oh, yeah.
So keep an eye on that, and you might get some first dibs on some really cool jigsaws. I'm talking like a big stack that she's just bought, and they're always so popular. I would want to shout out, at the end of the month, we're starting to have our Matariki events happening. The first of which would be the Mana Wahine talks. So there's 4 talks by Wahine Māori who are talking on their chosen kaupapa, sharing their experiences of successfully navigating their profession. So this is part of the Poanga Matariki Festival 2025. So the first one's on, Thursday, the 29th of May, midday to 1 o'clock. No registration required, entry free. So all of the women that are talking at each event have tribal affiliations with Hapu and Iwi from Te Tai Tokoro. 100% recommend these. These are going to be amazing. It's always so beneficial to learn from these women and their life story and their profession. So definitely recommend that if you can hop along on a Thursday midday.
So much going on. It's exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We also have the night library.
Oh, yes.
Yep. The night library is happening also on the 29th of May, I believe. And we're really, really, really excited to bring this back and to have a Matariki theme with that. So that's from 6:30 till 9 p.m. What does it say we can expect from that?
It says you can spend the evening at Whangarei Whakatapu Maturanga, the Whangarei Central Library, exploring Hipua Wananga and the new Hikakano collection, so the Library of Things. You can listen to stories and waiata about rest, remembrance, transformation, and the power of community. You can create lanterns and light, and then join a mini lantern parade around the library. That would be fun.
Cute.
And you can have a hot drink from Number 7 Espresso. That's the cafe in the library. Or you can play a board game, or just find a book and find your favorite cozy reading nook and experience. The Night Library.
Cool. So this will be our 3rd night library event, and we're really excited to bring it back. We've received such awesome feedback about the previous ones. We're really excited to have a Matariki theme for this because it's just really on point for the night library. So during the night library, there's all these fun activities happening. It's for people of all ages. It's sometimes cool to see kids show up in their PJs wanting to read a book, or it's a different vibe at the night library, so it's very excited. 100% recommend that. There will be only a limited library services available there, so it's not about printing or scanning or playing on the computers. Those aren't going to be available then. You can check out books like usual, but yeah, definitely recommend this experience, and please do come along. At least to pop in and say hi and enjoy the night.
Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah. Shall we do another New Zealand song to end things?
Yes, I've got a song I wanted to play because this song is new to me. I had never heard of it. The band is LMNOP and the song is Verona.
Yep.
I heard it for the first time on the radio about a week ago.
That's so cool.
I just thought finally, this song is different from all the others.
Whereas like 10 to 15 years ago, we would have been playing it on the radio all the time.
Well, I suppose, was this band kind of like maybe Blink-182 or Green Day in the U.S.? Just
Kind of is like that pop punk,
Yeah.
pop rock vibe. Yeah.
okay, yeah, and you know what? I liked this song. It was catchy.
Awesome. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a awesome week and we'll see you at the library.
Ka kite.
Ka kite.